Hello everybody, my name is Mixbad and welcome to ProRevenge. I've been wanting to do Reddit videos for a long time now, for like about a year, and I'm really excited to get started. So let's just hop right into it. Park in our disabled spot? Enjoy selling your home. Sorry for making this long, but context is pretty important. So my little sister, who is the sweetest girl in the world, is about 12 years old but can't walk or communicate. Her mental age is around 6 months. She obviously cannot attend a regular school, but since we live in a big city, there is a wonderful school for kids like her. Even though we don't own a car since we don't need one, we got the city to put up signs in front of our house designating a 4-meter spot for a wheelchair pickup and drop-off for a school bus every morning and afternoon. The signs went up about 2 years ago, and after the first week we never really had any issues since most of our neighbors are wonderful and totally understanding of our designated spot. For some context, we live in a perhaps poorer community, though we're well off. But in our 9 years here, we've had nothing but great interactions with everyone here. Sadly, the neighborhood is gentrifying, and we're getting more self-centered people with their Mercedes-Benz or Audis honking while my sister gets loaded onto her school bus, which takes around 4 minutes but blocks our little street, which really pisses us off as well as other sane people that witness it. Naively, we thought this would be the extent of our unpleasant interactions. In September, we woke up like on any other Monday morning to find a shiny BMW parked in our disabled spot. It wasn't just partially in it, it was positioned perfectly to take up the entire spot. To make things worse, there were about a dozen open spots on the block. And it's not like they were all vacated that morning since we woke up at 6 a.m. We were baffled. I'd seen this car many times since last July, and it was definitely the same car since there aren't many burgundy sports cars in our neighborhood. It was usually parked about 20 meters south on our street, so we knew it belonged to a neighbor a few doors down. We did all the basics in this type of situation. We took a picture, took down the license plate, called the police to report it. The cops came by within the hour and wrote a big fat ticket. I believe it was for $700, but don't quote me on it. Anyways, it was a significant amount. At around noon, a smug, angry guy came knocking on my door. I had the day off from school and was home on my own. It was obvious that it was the owner of the car, so I made a quick decision to record the conversation or a screaming match on my phone. I opened the door, and before I could say anything, the douche lays into me. I'm a 16-year-old guy and he's in his mid-40s, midlife crisis maybe. He accuses me of all things ranging from putting up those signs this morning to frame him into being racist. He was East Asian, I believe, but we have a really diverse community. He goes on to say that disabled spots shouldn't even be a thing, that it's always empty, totally shooting himself in the foot based on his previous comments, that we should pay for his undeserved ticket, and that it isn't even an inconvenience since the spot next to his was free and my sister could just get on the bus from there, blah blah blah. Once he finished, I said okay, and shut the door on his furious face. He rang the doorbell another 5 times before storming off. To my satisfaction, the recording caught everything fairly clearly. In the evening, I told my parents what happened and gave my dad a copy of the recording. We have a pretty tight-knit community, for the most part. And there's a neighborhood Facebook group with around 3,000 members. My dad decided to post a summary of what had happened, along with the recording and a picture of the car in our spot on the page. There was an immediate uproar with people saying they would fight back or whatever. We were humbled by the feeling that our community was standing up for us, but we didn't think anything would come of it. The next day, I leave my house to go to school, walk by the guy's car back in his normal spot, and notice that the front right tire was deflated. Upon closer inspection, it was slashed. As I said, our community is tight-knit, but I can't say I expected anything like this to happen. The guy must have seen the Facebook post because he didn't come back to our house to complain or accuse us of anything. The following weeks were sweet. Whenever I saw him in public, people would go up to him and remind him that he was a shitty human being, a bit harsh in my opinion, but they weren't my words. In November, his house had a for sale sign on the window. The house market had also gone down by a bit. I'm always curious about how much houses similar to ours are selling for compared to how much we paid for ours in 2010, so I knew what he paid for it in July. Once I saw the for sale sign, I rushed home and checked the local housing listings, and lo and behold, he was selling for $90,000 less than what it was going for in July. He really wanted to get out of our neighborhood. While his crime wasn't nearly worth $90,000, I must say I don't feel bad. Worst case scenario, he sells that obnoxious car of his, which would easily cover the lost money. Let's just say we haven't had a single car parked in my sister's spot since. Wow. That is brutal. Oh my god, this was so much fun to read. This was so much fun to read. I can't even describe it. Like, just, this guy was an absolute dick. He probably didn't deserve to have this much stuff happen to him, but damn, that was just brutal. Girlfriend fucked someone else? I kicked her out. Background. Me and my ex had been together for just about a year and had decided to move in together for this most recent semester of uni, where we began to have a lot of fights and were on rocky terms for a little while. In this time, she would take advantage of my insecurities and my kindness just so she would get more attention, while not giving any back to me. Most of our conversations at this point were apologetic, or were trying to fix these problems, or at least I thought. Whenever I tried to talk to her in person, she would get hyper defensive and too emotional to deal with facts that I was telling her. She would leave and message me over Discord/Snapchat, saying these horrible things to me, only meant to tear me down, adding in a few maybe we should break ups for good measure. One night I had had enough and said that it would be best to take a break and try and figure out, from a third person perspective, what was wrong in our relationship. She took this as breaking up. Not 2 days later, she had brought someone else over to our apartment to fuck. This decimated me, leading me to have a mental and emotional breakdown while they were having sex in the other room. I had mutual friends get me out of our place for the night, where I explained our situation to them. They hated her. They hated her for what she had done to me, and all of them cut contact with her right on the spot, which I later found out was a major hit to her ego. But that's not even the best part. Then the guy she fucked came to me and apologized for what had happened. He explained he felt bad for what he did, and he was told we had been separate for 2 weeks and was doing that the whole time, and that her wanting to fuck him was the reason for her last breakup before me. And he came to tell me because she's now going to fuck his friend. Of course, rage ensues, but for some reason, not towards him, but a plan did pop into my head. College student apartments, at least around here, are all sign in mid-February, and I took my chance. I gathered a group of 4 of her once friends, and we all signed the lease together, kicking her out of the apartment entirely. She has until the end of the month to find somewhere else to live. So I got out of this toxic relationship with all her friends, and I kicked her out of her own apartment. So I hope that dick tasted nice. Oh, and fucked her best friend. Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah. Okay, this story was ridiculously hard to read because I can tell that this is probably was done on mobile. Like, grammar, punctuation, spelling was all over the place in this. But I gotta be real here. Holy shit. That is some sweet and tasty revenge right there. I need that elevator now. Originally posted on r/entitled people, posted here on popular demand. Edit. Thanks for the gold, you/July 2 Thriller Junkie and 2 unknown strangers. So I'm an elevator technician. When they break, I'm the one who fixes them. When the parts wear out, I replace them. You get it. The other day, I was on a job replacing a worn out emergency light. Back in the day, it was a habit to use the battery of the emergency light to power the elevator's siren system. Modern emergency lights have different voltages between LEDs, so I can't use the old way of connecting everything. So I have to wire everything from scratch, including new battery and siren. No big deal, but it takes a little longer to complete the task. Note that this is a 3-stop elevator, ground floor, first and second floor. I start with hanging up all my out of order signs and start working on the ground floor. 5 minutes in, just disassembling the old pieces, the story begins. In comes the entitled woman, mid-40s, can walk perfectly fine, carrying one barely filled grocery bag. Me, yours truly. EW, entitled woman. D, her lovely daughter, around 15 years old. EW, excuse me, is the elevator broken again? Me, not exactly, ma'am. I'm changing this, showing her the emergency light, because the old one wasn't working anymore. This will probably take about an hour to complete. At this point, her daughter walks in. How am I supposed to get my groceries upstairs? Me, getting annoyed. I look at her bag and give her the "are you fucking kidding me" look. D, Mom, seriously, take the stairs. It's 2 floors. Clearly annoyed. EW, no, I paid for this elevator and I need it now. D, I'm going up, and takes the stairs. EW, how long is this going to take? Me, like I said, ma'am, about an hour. The woman then sits her ass down on a bench in the hallway, waiting for me to finish. Really? Oh well, I do my thing in the cabin, not hurrying at all, mount the new E-light to the ceiling, and pack my things to go 1 floor up, to start the wiring on top of the cabin. EW, you done yet? Me, no ma'am, I still have to wire things on top of the elevator. EW, no, I can see you're done. You're packing your things. Me, yes, I have to take my bag 1 floor up so I can start on the wiring. EW, can't I use it now? Me, no ma'am, you can't. There's exposed wiring up there. If you use it now, you can cause a short and you'll get stuck. It's not really safe. EW, fine! And she sits back down on the bench, seriously pissed off. I take my bag and make my way upstairs. As soon as I stand in front of the 1st floor door, I hear the door on the ground floor close, and sure enough, EW went into the elevator and tries to take it upstairs. Hell no, I wasn't having that. I take my emergency key, and as soon as the elevator started moving, I open the lock, cutting the safety chain, and the elevator comes to a sudden stop. This scared the shit out of her, and she screams. I open the door, in my most fake surprised voice, I yell, "Oh no, what have you done?" While calmly pressing the emergency stop on top of the elevator. Yep, this thing isn't going anywhere soon. Me, this is exactly why I said the elevator's unsafe to use now. I'll do my best to get it working again ASAP, but you made a mess up here, so I don't know how long it's going to take. There was no mess, but I couldn't resist teaching her a little lesson. EW, swears, yells, and makes a scene. Me, I'll be right back. I have to go to the engine room and see if I can get it working again. I close the door and make my way up. On the 2nd floor, the daughter came out of her apartment because of the yelling of her mother. I quickly explain what happened. D, raising her voice, "Oh no, please get her out of there." But she comes closer and whispers to me, "Don't hurry, make her suffer." That's my kind of girl. Music to my ears. I smile, give her a thumbs up, and make my way to the engine room. I call my supervisors to explain the situation in case she files a complaint. In the engine room, I start playing around with the fuses, putting her in the dark because, yeah, I haven't connected the E-light yet. I play with her for about half an hour before I turn off the emergency stop I activated. The elevator synchronizes to the lowest floor, and I wait for the door to open. Me, please, don't ever do that again. EW, white as a sheet, shaking, No, I won't. And she takes the stairs and goes inside. I never heard from her again. I calmly finish my job and leave the building with a smile on my face. Mission accomplished. Holy shit. That was awesome. Oh my god. I don't know whether this is pro-revenge or petty revenge, but damn, that's satisfying. Girls shouldn't win math competitions, so my son should win. I'm a high school student and this happened to me in 9th grade. I'm sorry for any grammatical errors because English is not my first language. My teacher decided I should compete in a math competition because she saw potential in me. I agree because she was my favorite teacher. I didn't really care that much because I was kinda lazy at the time. On the day of the competition, I saw a kid, let's call him EK, boasting about how he didn't sleep because he reviewed everything. I was annoyed, but I didn't really think much of it. The results came in, sure enough he won, but I got 2nd place. I was shocked and happy at the same time, and so was my teacher. Everything was all sunshine and rainbows until I heard this lady, EM. EM, good thing that a girl didn't win. I was only 2 points behind. This is a math competition, my boy should win. He studied really hard for this, and a girl shouldn't beat him. I was livid. My teacher patted my back and told me not to listen to her. When they announced that I was in 2nd place, EM started booing. This woman. I couldn't take it, so I devised a plan. This competition happened every year according to my teacher, and in grade 10 there was a regionals competition after. I swore that I would win next year. The whole year I taught myself various math equations, and my friend helped me with everything. I spent a whole year reviewing just to prove this entitled mother wrong. The next year I entered the competition, more ready than ever. I saw the boy again. Now even his mother is boasting how he couldn't sleep knowing he was going to win again, and that he's excited about the regionals. Everything she said just encouraged me to do better. The exam was kinda hard, but I managed to answer most of the test questions, while I heard EK said it wasn't that hard. I was not confident I would win, but I was hoping. The announcements came and they said only one got a score of 40 and above in every grade level. The EK was smirking, thinking it was him and telling his mom, "Regionals, here we go." But to his surprise, I won. The look of shock in EM and EK's face was worth it. They didn't utter a word. His teacher was just standing there shocked. I gave them a big ass smirk and went up to the stage, accepting my prize and everything. When I went down the stage, I saw EM crying and saying, "My boy was supposed to win. He was supposed to go to the regionals." And once I heard her cries of agony, the whole year of reviewing was paid off. I got second place in regional and became friends with the guy in first place. Overall, it was a great experience. I'm glad I don't have to see EM and EK again, but there is no math competition in grade 11. Edit. Thanks for the gold. I just found out what that was a while ago, Lamau. Edit 2. I hope Q-Star notices this, haha. Edit 3. Thanks for the support, everyone. Well, I don't know if it's going to show up in Q-Star, but it's definitely showing up on Mixpad's video. So, thank you for helping me start doing this as well. This story was actually really fun to read, to be honest. Like, I very much enjoyed it. Damn, you just work for a full year just to prove an entitled mother wrong. Damn, good on you for, like, coming second in regionals. Like, that's really good. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it for this episode of ProRevenge. This was actually really fun to make. I've been wanting to do Reddit videos for a long time. For about a year now. And I just never really took the initiative to start doing it because of school and other stuff. And so I just decided, you know what? Give it a shot. Go for something you really wanted to do for a long time and get started working on it and see how it went. And honestly, I think this one went pretty well. I definitely made a few screw-ups during this, but I feel like I could become way better at it as I do more. So let me know what you guys thought and give me like some feedback on what I can do better next time in the comments below. I'm really going to enjoy reading it. And also let me know what subreddits you guys want to hear. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. This is Mixpad, signing off.